If you've seen people sporting these red ribbons today and wondered why, well, they're the first coloured ribbon used to promote a health issue. And these people in Newcastle have been showing their support for those affected by HIV. According to Public Health England, there's 1,602 people living with HIV in the North East. And although that might not sound like a lot, diagnoses are increasing every year. That's why organisations like Mesmac and Eyes Open want to raise as much awareness of HIV as possible.
135 newly diagnosed people during 2014, so it is quite a significant issue. We are classed as a low prevalence area when related to other areas of the North East, but what we should never be doing is to become complacent, because the numbers are increasing year on year.
People still do have this perception that, you know, there's the myth that someone can catch HIV by using the same glass or kissing someone, and people still have that kind of fear that they don't want to tell people and what people will perceive of them if they told them that they had HIV. So there is still one there, but I think the North East especially, we've done really well at tackling that over the last few years.
Andrew Dalton is a lecturer in social sciences at Sunderland University, and his research about people living with HIV in the North East makes for shocking reading. The report found that many of the interviewees felt their patient confidentiality had been compromised and that HIV wasn't getting the awareness it needed in schools.
At the moment, it's a little bit worrying because people have stopped talking about it. And it's not seen as one of those things which is kind of spread around or people are discussing. When in actual fact, some of the figures are really, really high. But what we're finding is that things like non-medical staff were moving with papers with people's HIV status quite clearly stamped on it through things like waiting rooms, where, you know, if you're in a small rural town in Northumberland and no one knows your status, then having that shown quite clearly across a waiting room can be really disturbing to a lot of people.
Newcastle's Millennium Bridge is being lit up red for World AIDS Day, and there's a vigil being held featuring guest speakers to talk about their experiences. Eyes Open and Mesmac hope to promote awareness of HIV to destigmatise it, because as Mark and Sam explain, people often assume it's only gay and bisexual men who get it, but that's simply not the case, and thousands of people are living undiagnosed with HIV.
Over the 12 years we've had different events, so we've done marches through the city where I think on 3 or 4 occasions, 3 or 4 years of the 12 years that Eyes Open's been running, we've marched from the monument down onto the quayside, over the Millennium Bridge and into Baltic Square.
As where the new figures do state that it's, you know, it's actually heterosexual couples as well now, so it's really important that people are aware of the HIV status and that kind of promoting the awareness of talking about it so it isn't stigmatised, because the more something's talked about, the less stigma can be associated with it.
Zoe Muldoon, Made in Tyne and Weir, Newcastle.